Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Minecraft video. My name is LeaderGrev. How are you guys doing? I myself am doing pretty well. Let me let you guys know what's going on. First of all, I want to introduce you guys to this map before I get into the commentary. This map is easily one of the most fun maps I have ever played. I absolutely love this map, and it is so not well known from what I've seen, but it is such a fun map to play. Oh man, it's crazy. I love it. I love it. I loved every second of playing this map, to be like wholly fully honest. It is a complete the monument map. I believe it only has 2 walls though, and some secret bonuses like a music disc and 5 dungeons you need to storm or should storm as a bonus. But it is so unbelievably fun. It's in hardcore mode, so you always need to manage your resources. There's so much like managing and use on the spot, and you got to be quick in your inventory. You got to think about what you're doing beforehand. And you've got to try this really pushes survival to the end. Whereas in other maps like Vex maps, you can sort of like throw yourself at the map and say see what sticks because you have that opportunity. You have lives. You have multiple lives to do that. This map is hardcore, so you always need to manage what's given to you. You always need to try your hardest to survive. It is unbelievably fun, and I am shocked that I've only found it just now, and that I've only just played it or heard about it just recently. So, man, I had so much fun playing this. The first, this is actually, I believe it's the actual 4th attempt of me playing, but the other 3 were me just dying right at the beginning, because at the very, very beginning, I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, the map sort of gives it away in the instructions anyways. Blazes start coming out of a chamber underground. So if you don't cross that bridge, that little, like, jumpy course puzzle thing fast enough, you're going to get screwed over by blazes. And that's what happened to me the first time, and I believe the second time. And then the other time, there was something else. But you guys will probably figure that out further into the map. Or probably at least at this point right now. I don't see the recording. This isn't a live recording. So, now that you guys are familiar with the map, I want to get into the rest of the commentary and sort of explain where I've been and what's been going on in my life, because it's kind of strange. I had my prom on Thursday, which was unbelievably fun. Usually, let me explain something about myself. I don't like parties. I don't like parties. I don't get them. I take a very, F. Scott Fitzgerald stance towards parties, where it just seems superfluous. It seems like a waste of my time. And when I mean parties, I don't mean parties in general, like a birthday party or a graduation party. I mean like the loud, like club hopping, let's drink. What other substance abuse can we bring into this? Those kinds of parties. The bad music, bad dancing. Whoops, my headset just popped off. Bad music, bad dancing, that sort of party. That is what I see as a party, and that I don't see any use in whatsoever. Traditionally, I never enjoy that. I start sulking. I get very pessimistic about these sorts of things. But, I guess the easiest way to put this is that I kind of like redefined YOLO for myself at this party. I think YOLO is one of the dumbest phrases nowadays, because it's at its core it's a good phrase, but it's kind of been made a mockery of with the connotation nowadays. It's like YOLO, I can smoke like 19 blunts a day because YOLO. No, YOLO's more about, or at least the way I see it, the way I think it should be, it should be more about like take what's given to you and enjoy it. Don't go to extremes, but like try things out and try to keep an open mind and enjoy yourself, because YOLO. And so I went to this prom and I was expecting to get very sulky and to start writing a manifesto about how much I hate society and hate music, and I was able to, for the purpose of prom, I was able to enjoy myself. You know, I was actually kind of surprised with myself. It made me, I definitely surprised myself. I sort of like sunk myself into the moment and I enjoyed myself. And that was fun. It was pretty good. After that, which was pretty good. I mean, as I said, usually a pessimist, so that was pretty fun. After that, I have after prom, which a friend of mine invited. Well, she and her boyfriend invited me and my girlfriend to her grandparents' beach house, and that was a whole bunch of fun. We went to the beach. Um, Lots and lots and lots of fun. The beach was great. Water was fantastic. It was on the cold side, obviously, but it was really, really, really fun. And this is where this commentary starts getting a bit rocky, because part of me really wants to talk about this, and another part of me wants to be like, no, I don't want to expose my viewers to their first nervous breakdown on YouTube, because I haven't fully developed my thoughts on this issue myself, and you don't know the issue yet, but it's convoluted. It doesn't make sense to me. It's something I'm still trying to work through, but I feel like talking about it might just make sense. So, right now, I mean, not right now, but yesterday when I wanted to record this, excuse me, I was in a pretty bad mood. And this bad mood started probably on Saturday. So I showed up after prom started on Friday. Saturday, like mid-Saturday, was when my bad mood kind of started. So, first of all, like the first thing that really ticked me off, prom was just chock full of bad music. There were like 2 or 3 songs that were okay. And that's because some of them were old songs, like there was Don't Stop Believing, there was Living on a Prayer, there was Jump on It by the Sugar Hill Gang. There were like a couple good songs. And I was like, okay, I'll tolerate bad music for one night. That's perfectly fine. But I'll put it like this way. My tastes in music don't usually align with others particularly well. I don't listen to the radio, is probably part of that. I just don't. I know what I want to listen to, and the radio is like this wretched hive of scum and villainy to me. I don't partake in radio. It doesn't. It's just the music that they play on there does not get to me in any way, in any positive way at least. It's just this cesspool of evil in my eyes. So Thursday, not Thursday, Saturday, I was having a great time. We're going to the beach, and then that song, that fucking, I don't know what it's called, and I don't really want to sing it because I'm worried that it's going to get stuck in my head, but the one that's like, tonight, we are young, that fucking song, I don't know why. Usually, if I don't like a song, I don't like it because I think the artist is a dumbass, because the song is absolutely bland and unoriginal, which this one kind of is, but that's besides the point. Or it's just like terrible, talentless, awful. Usually I have a reason for not liking a certain piece of music. Lil Wayne, I don't like him because I don't think he's talented, because I think he's a dumbass, because his music makes no fucking sense, because it's the worst. This song, I have no reason to not like it, but I hate it with every ounce of my body. I wish I had a reason. I don't. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I usually don't hate indiscriminately for no discernible reason, but I fucking hate this song. It blows my mind how much I hate it. It's the worst. So, walking to the beach on Saturday, just like walking, and the song comes on my friend's iPod, and I wanted to, like, that was the catalyst. That was what set it all off. And that song just like just pulled me into this angry mood. And so we're sitting there on the beach, and a bunch of, see, I keep referring to them as teenagers, but they were actually like mid-20s, if not early 30s, kids who were talking about their college days. And they were all like, oh yeah, you should smoking weed and shrooms. Sober sex is not as good as drunk sex. Fucking acid is crazy, man. But I wouldn't do it again, but I'd recommend it to you. I just wanted to like walk over and smack the shit out of what? These people were so unbelievably stupid, and it's that substance. Let me preface this a tiny bit with my personal views. Substance abuse is something that doesn't make sense to me at all. I just don't get it. I don't get the allure. I've never seen it do anything good for anyone. Like, never. My opinion regarding the legalization of marijuana would be, if I was a politician, I would support the legalization of marijuana. However, personally, I don't like that idea. I've never seen it benefit anyone. In fact, quite the opposite. Moreover, the few people who I believe can like use it responsibly, I've never met those kinds of people. I'm absolutely certain that there are people who can smoke responsibly. I've just never met one. And I don't think I ever will. But, so I prefaced it with that. And anyways, so now you kind of understand, like, there's a tiny little glimpse into who I am and how I function. These kids drove me insane. I was lying there on the beach. I was getting all suntanned and sunburned. I was lying there and listening to them. And, oh my god, it was the worst. And that just put me in a worse mood. And then we got home, and I guess you'd call it the host mom. She brought up. This was another thing. She said, when you're in college, you have to drink at least once, and you can't get through college without drinking. And then she said something along the lines. She also said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, you know, you should smoke marijuana at some point in your life, just once. And externally, my body was like, I was like nodding politely. I was like, yeah, whatever, sure. Inside my head, I was like, challenge accepted. Because, like, no, I don't think any of that is true. I think I can get through life quite fine without ever smoking marijuana. I think I can get through life just fine, or through college just fine, without getting drunk. And so I was talking to another friend of mine about this recently, and this is where this commentary is going to get a bit weird, because I don't know how my views on this have developed, how they're going to change, how I feel about this. But I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to drink in college, and I casually dropped, like, are you? And he was like, yeah. What? And that just... Oh, my headphones fell out again. Or earbuds, rather. My earbuds through which I record. That just blew my mind. Not what I expected in the least. And, frankly, it kind of frightened me. Because I'm starting to feel like I'm a member of a dying breed. And everyone's just like, no, man, don't repopulate. Fuck you. We don't need any more of that. Like, I'm going contrary to the norm, and I can't understand what's going on in society. Like, I'm naively unaware of how society functions in terms of accepting certain substances as fact, accepting certain parts of life as fact, accepting certain things to be. I can't wrap my head around that. I don't understand substance abuse at its core. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't. Like, there are things I understand, like 2 + 2, how to write, how to use a computer, how to drive a car, things I don't understand, substance abuse, quantum mechanics, fuck, no, seriously. So, and, I mean, this friend of mine qualified afterwards that, like, you know, he was gonna drink responsibly. He wasn't, like, he doesn't believe drinking to get drunk makes any sense. And I agree with that. But drinking underage still just, it rubs me the wrong way on so many levels. And it just, oh man, I freaked out. I started stressing out. There have been several moments in my life when I really stressed out, when it was like unbelievable stress. One of those was during around like January of this year, when I was worried about colleges, and I couldn't sleep. I had this like omnipresent stress. The only other time I can really remember was when a couple of years ago. I used to know these dates, and now I don't anymore. But a couple of years ago, I used to run a clan in Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's actually where the EMP in my name, in my YouTube channel name, is from, because that was my clan. I had EMP, and those were surrounded by equal signs. I was EMP LeaderGrev, and It was a clan I created, and at some point, I went to go to a family event. And then I came back, and I had a whole bunch of messages on Xfire, and that was the thing I used instead of Steam back then. It was sort of a gaming messenger. Well, I mean, it still is. I think it was bought recently by someone, but that's not important. And I had a whole bunch of messages from different friends, and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear about your loss." I was like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?" And it turned out that somebody, an opposing team, had faked my name in an online chat and had agreed to what we called a disband war. A disband war. And I mean, in retrospect, like wars, disbanding, like, it wasn't really serious. But that freaked me out. And these people had challenged us, faked my agreement, and I'd previously said, I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be away for the entire day. Don't do anything drastic. Don't accept any war offers. None of that. I'm not going to be here. Don't do that." So I left my server running, and I went over, I think I went to New Jersey to visit cousins. Came back, fucked. And, that caused me so much stress. So many nights of sleep lost, because I didn't know what to do. Clan members had, like, taken it as gospel and had left without telling me anything. Not posting on the website, not any of that. They just disappeared, just whoosh. And I freaked out. That was the legitimate stress. And this was a repetition of that same feeling of, like, where you feel really like your body is filled with air. And I had that, and I couldn't understand. And I mean, on one hand, I totally get it. I mean, if you say you're going to drink responsibly, that makes sense to me. At home, every now and then, I would be okay with, like, during New Year's, if my parents give me a sip of champagne. It's a very, like, European way of raising me. I'm Russian, my parents do that. There's no big concern over me drinking. So, on one hand, I understand. It's like a setting, it's a thing you do with your family. It's a thing, if you're underage, you do with your family, and you don't do anywhere else. That's like what it is in my brain. But even this idea of, like, I'm going to go out with my friends, and I'm going to drink responsibly, but I'm going to be drinking underage regardless. That frightens me. And I don't know why, but it legitimately, like, you guys might think I'm exaggerating when I say it frightens me, but it legitimately frightens me. Like, the concept worries me, because I see drinking as such a, like, sleazy, at least, like, drinking underage, and even like, up until a certain point in your life, I see it as, like, so sleazy, such an escape, like, I can't see it as a classy, casual thing that it can so often be. And some of you might think, like, wow, Grev, you're a huge prude. That's kind of fucking ridiculous. And swear to God, I'm not. This is, like, the one thing where I shrivel up and I become a fucking prune. But usually, like, I drop pickup lines so lewd that, like, my girlfriend doesn't know what hit her. I am so not a prude that it's just ridiculous. I can be so ridiculously not prudish. Like, if you knew me in real life, you would understand this. I cannot, I cannot properly, like, I can't call myself a prude in any respect other than this one. But that's more, it's less being, like, prudish, and it's more of, like, it just makes no fucking sense to me. I don't get it. And part of me understands. Part of me is like, oh, you're being responsible. I trust you to do this right and not be stupid about it. And another part of me says, like, no, you have convictions. Stick to these convictions. What are you doing? And I don't intend to drink. That should be fine enough with me. I should be perfectly content with the fact that I'm not going to drink and not have to oppress that on other people. But I do, and I feel like I'm a supporter of a book ban, of, say, like, Catcher in the Rye, where I see the words fuck in a book, and I'm just like, nope, we gotta ban it, we can't let our kids see this, and completely miss the context of the book. I feel like one of those people. And it's weird, because I'm torn between, like, I understand the concept. conceptually it makes sense. You're not drinking to get drunk, you're drinking responsibly. That's perfectly fine. If you were drinking to get drunk, I just like, whoosh, mind would not be in a good place. I remember the first time I found out that people like in my school drank to become drunk. My friend and I were at a party for some kind of event. It wasn't even a party, it was more like a gathering. I think around graduation-ish time last year. Not graduation, but like end of the year. And we were talking to a friend, and she was like, my friend and I were talking to this girl, and she was like, yeah, you know, I drink, I like doing things sober, and I like doing things drunk. And mind just... mind blown. Like, I did not understand. For the rest of the night, like, we sat in a corner, and we, like, wrote manifestos and plotted. And we were all like, oh, society is evil. We don't understand. It's so corrupt. And, I mean... I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. I wish I could not want to oppress my opinions onto others. I really don't want to. I don't think I'm a controlling individual. I don't think I have expectations of others. But at the same time, I have ideals and convictions that I don't want to give up, that I feel strongly about. And I don't know, like, maybe I'm wrong. I fully accept that maybe I'm wrong. That maybe the convictions that have sort of been pounded into me by teachers, by parents, this sort of like, the stigma of drinking is bad, don't do it, and beyond, maybe that's not right. Maybe I should let up. Maybe as I mentioned before, maybe YOLO. Like, what do I know? But at the same time, I have these convictions and I don't want to give up on them. And part of me thinks, like, maybe I'm just naively unaware of how the world functions. Maybe I just want to, like, leave everyone as kids and keep this, like, drinking thing away. But, I don't know. These are ideas that I've held for a long time. Ideals that I have, ideals that I enjoy and feel strongly about. And I'm often frightened by the ease of ignoring these convictions, these rules that have been applied to us. And just like even the sleaziness, and my mind starts coming up with all these different possible scenarios of the things that could go wrong, of the things that can happen if there's this disparity between me and my friends, and like my friends are drinking, I'm not drinking. There's a disparity here. What comes of that? That frightens me, that bothers me. I don't know what to think. So this is why part of me didn't want to do this commentary. Because, to an extent, I feel like it's hard to understand my point of view. Because I don't understand it either. I don't know what's right. I don't know if I'm completely wrong, if I'm a huge tool about this, if I should just not think about this anymore and just stow it all away and let people be people and do what they want and be content with myself. But it concerns me and it worries me when I think about friends doing certain things that I have such strong convictions about. So, and I was worried about, like, sort of bringing this up and oppressing this kind of idea upon you guys. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I don't really know what else I can say without being redundant. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas on the subject, actually, I was lucky enough to talk to a friend before this sort of, like, escalated into what it is now. Because now it's less so of, like, a worry about my own convictions and more so a worry about one of my friends, one of my close friends, who I'm really, like, I'm concerned about, and I'm not trying to be like, no, don't drink, out of controllingness or out of brutishness or any of that. It's out of concern, out of love. And I don't know. And I had the luck of talking to a viewer of mine a couple days ago about substance abuse, and it's really great to be open with other people about this sort of thing, which is why I eventually decided to record this commentary. Maybe you guys can give me some insight. Maybe, I don't know, you guys have dealt with something like this. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think of this map. I will definitely be playing it again because I really, really love this map, and I don't think I did it fully justice with this playthrough. And at the end, I sort of just gave up because I had no time to keep going. But let me know what you think of the map. Let me know what you thought of the commentary. I don't usually ask, but leave a like if you liked it, of course. Favorite, share, all of this stuff is important to me. It really helps me out. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good day.